No need to wait, no need to wait. Oh, actually, there is one thing I gotta do, though. I have to mute myself before I begin. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Give me one moment, everybody. As usual, I gotta start by muting myself so you don't hear me twice. Alright. Check it out. I only sacrificed a few encounters because I decided to just set up and go live. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to hunt for a couple hours here. I'm literally just going to sit and do nothing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go live. I'm just going to go live. For once, I wanted to test something out because I had heard that the counter stops at 999 encounters. So I was like, okay, let me watch. So I literally watched it 998, 999, and then boom, it stops. Numbered battled does not increase. So from that point, I figured I'm already at 999 encounters. I might as well keep counting. So we are at 2,640. In this game, that's pretty high. But I've certainly had worse. So I thought, all right, since I've got the exact number, for once I'll keep track of it. So I'll pull up a counter here so I can keep going and chat with you guys on the 4th of July. So what's up? Welcome, Hoy. Welcome, Mawile, and welcome, Shelby. I was going to... There were a couple things in the works. I talked to you guys, and I apologize. I'll start hunting. So I said I was going to do a couple things. One was finish up Mario Sunshine. I forgot the name of that game. Jeez. Mario Sunshine. Well, Naya's not here, actually. She had a delay. Because of that, I'm not going to get the opportunity to do that possibly at all today. I'm not sure. But at the same time, Danganronpa was up on the schedule. I don't really have a schedule. I can't call it that. Up on the list of things that I intend to do. So, by the way, I'm just running from these encounters. I've been battling every single one of these because I've been chasing this phantom chain for re-rolls that exists. I really need a data miner to confirm it. Like, I have no clue for once what the shiny yards are that I'm dealing with. But that's enough of that. Let's get to the chat. It's been an entire week. I'm playing Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay, so I had my motivational speech ready for you yesterday and didn't get to it in time. So if you need it, you got it. It'll be an impromptu, improvised, extreme motivational speech. By the way, guys, Mawile, what's up? So Mawile, I was looking around. I don't have that 3DS with me, just a heads up. So I asked Naya to bring it over. So it's on its way. She was going to play Sun at some point and had taken it back. And I don't know, most of her gaming stuff she leaves here because, well, truth be told, guys, I have the big TV, that's why. But either way, so I don't have it with me, which means I can't actually check on my Pokemon yet. But I'll get to it, I promise. All right, so question number one, guys. How does the audio sound? So I watched back the Smash stream, which was such a powerful freaking stream. 5 hours of chaos that YouTube literally didn't even post it for 12 and a half hours. It wasn't even posted. But either way, I watched it back. I wasn't happy with where the audio was. The game was a little quiet. I have to turn my volume way up on the computer to get it to a level where I can hear it. And my voice was not loud enough. So I have increased the mic significantly. It does not show that I'm bottoming out, or I should say topping. I'm not bumping the ceiling. So you should be able to hear everything clearly. I'm wondering, relative to the game, can you hear my voice pretty well? I hate it because I did a test stream several times, and I'm like, good, that's where I like it at. And then yesterday, it wasn't perfect. You want the speech? All right, give me one moment. I need some water. That's 6 Sandygast. Oh, I forgot. I stopped fainting you. Try again. Oops. I accidentally cleared, so I was at 7 encounters, so I put it to 8 by accident, so this will be 8 right here. Sounds better than last stream. Yeah, I keep checking at the start of the stream. I'm like, hey guys, can you hear me good? And then when I look back at it, I'm like, but it was so quiet. And I get that the closer I talk, it makes a huge difference. Heck, I told you guys technically the pop filter that I have is probably the primary factor behind why it sounds so quiet, because if I talk behind it without the pop filter,
It literally sounds like this, and it's probably much louder.
but then you'll get the pop. So sounds better. Yep. So was it that loud? It shouldn't have been that loud. There's no way it was that loud. I know it was going to be louder without when I talked in the back of the mic. I'm sure it was loud, but it couldn't have been that loud. There's no way. I watched it. It went into the yellows. All right, let's. Oh, that's 11 actually. That's 11. All right, so let me pull that up. Let me pull that back up. Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, I was messing around, but it showed. Oh, this guy's a brilliant. It shouldn't have been that bad. I think I don't know. Maybe my pop filter sticks out a little far, but it's not a big deal. So, Hoy, you've been having some trouble in Five Nights at Freddy's, a whole week, in fact, right? Did anybody here get the shiny Zera Aura? No, I have not. Somebody was telling me they did. It might have been Aiden. I think it was Aiden. I didn't get onto Pokemon Home yet. Easy fix, of course. Well, sorry, Hoy, I don't control your volume dial. Why am I taking these out? Eventually, I just abandoned taking them out because, like I said, this Phantom possibly exists, possibly doesn't. Nobody knows how it breaks. Chain where it re-rolls for you. After 2,600 encounters, I'm like, is it really re-rolling for me? I'm having a hard time believing that. and the claim is that at 25 it maxes out, but I don't know. Some people have claimed that chain breaks simply by running from the encounter, and other people have claimed, no, you can run from the same species. It's just you can't capture or feint anything other than the species you're looking for. So since there's no clarity in that, I'm just like, whatever. Let's just encounter it and encounter and encounter. Whoops. I passed it up. I was reading Pokemon Home on... No. I tried it. I was talking to him a while earlier, actually, or yesterday. I tried it on my phone, but I realized it won't work on your phone. Not the Zera Aura thing. You need to have it on your Switch, so it's referencing if you rated any Zera Aura. And to do that, it's got to check the game. Squirtle is the name. I was kind of voting for Tortuga. Speech. My fellow gamers, it comes to me to speak to you about the incident of Hoy being stuck on a game for a week. Now, we've all been in that position. Hoy, what you need to do is step outside of your body. I want you to step onto the outside and look inwards. I want you to tell us all what you see. What you should be looking at, not your physical appearance, like looking in a mirror. No, I'm asking you to step outside and tell me, who is Hoy? What is Hoy about? Hoy, it's your character. And the thing about your character, it divides into two gaming categories. There are those that take the easy path. They look at the challenge and they say, I'm done. It's the easy path, and sometimes it's even the right path. You look at it, you look at the challenge, and you say, is it worth it? Is it crazy to even try this? Is it even possible? Those are the people that step away, they walk away, and they put their energy into something else. And, true, sometimes this is the right decision. But then there are the other people, the other category. They're the minority. There's not as many of them. We're the ones that step up to the challenge, Hoy. We step up to the challenge and we look it dead in the eyes and you say, you know what? Maybe it is possible. Maybe it's just because I got to be the first to do it, but maybe it is possible. Maybe I will take down this challenge while everybody else said, no, it can't even be done. It's impossible. Maybe everybody says, you're stupid for trying it. Why are you wasting your time on this? And you know what you do? You look them dead at the eyes. You look them dead right in the eyes and you say, I'm doing it because I'm going to make this work. I'm going to beat it. Nothing's going to trample me. Nothing's going to come out on top over me. And you stare at it and you look at your character, Hoy, and you get in there and you say, you know what? I'm going for it and I'm not letting you put me down. I'm not letting anything stop me. And you mow it over like it's on a train track and you're the train coming down the rails. Hoy, you step up or you step aside. When the chips are down, which kind of person are you going to be? You're going to be a person that steps up and topples everything else? Or are you going to be just another person that walks off onto Reddit and stops playing? Maybe you'll even look up a Let's Play and just see what the hell happens. No. I don't want you to be that person. Nobody should be that person. You don't have to look up a Let's Play. You're going to conquer it. You're going to beat this challenge. Now go get him, Hoy. You get in that ring and you get him. There's your speech. Every endorsement after that and every speech after that's about $20 an hour. So, 4th of July, guys. But you need both. What's that? Oh, well, I mean, I don't know if I need home on my phone, then yeah, it's already there. Go get him, Hoy. Yeah, Pokemon Home's already on my phone, so I guess I'm good to go. I'll boot up Home and go get Zeraora shortly. Oops. Went over to add another Sandygast to the count and smack the controller. I'm actually confused. I don't know why. My Switch actually hasn't been shutting off lately. I've noticed that, like, I'll just leave it because it'll go on standby. And then when I come back, the green light's still on. The Switch has been on for hours. I'll be like, what the heck? Even the Joy-Cons, for some reason, didn't power down. They had actually died because they were just sitting there on. I'm like, I don't believe I toggled it to never go on standby. But I'll have to go take a look. I can't pay $20 an hour. Well, then you'll have to stick with the free version. That's the non-rehearsed, on-the-fly motivational speech by Nita Marquis. You get the gift on the phone, but not the Switch. Oh, I checked on my phone. I didn't have it. The gift was not there. Try rebooting the Switch. I did that. I did that a few times. The only thing I can think is maybe Naya changed the setting for Animal Crossing. So maybe she didn't want it going on standby. That's about the only thing I can think. "32 encounters already, Sandygast. Come on. These newer games, shiny hunts don't take as long. In fact, it's almost to the point where, like in Let's Go, there's a point where I cross the line. I'm like, okay, well, it's actually taking so little time that I don't even value the shiny anymore. You're making this a challenge, Sandygast. And you know what? Similar to my speech to Hoy, I like stepping up to the plate. I like the thrill of the hunt. You've made me take out a lot of your brethren just because you won't shine. Need to transfer to and from home just one Pokemon. All right, well, that's done too. All of that's been completed. If I'm lucky, it's gonna be a lot of work. What I would like to do is transfer up all those shinies from Pokemon Diamond and transfer them into Bank, and then from Bank transfer them into Home. It will take a long time, but it'll be pretty cool. I mean, imagine like Shinx, a Pokemon I caught on Diamond, and now I can use it in the Isle of Armor. So, like, I've seen a lot of people shiny hunting Shinx. I'm like, well, I don't have to do that. I did that 15 years ago, or no, actually, I did that about 10 years ago, and then I did it again probably 8 years ago, and then I did it again 2 years ago. So, no need for me to pick that hunt back up. Speaking of Animal Crossing, I kind of broke my plots because no one moves in unless I ask them to, or I move forward like 10 years. Aha! Shelby, my friend, you time traveled, didn't you? There's a few people that have had that issue. Then again, everybody, even the people that were saying they weren't going to time travel, have time traveled. So it's like, at this point, I think everybody's done it. That's how you get it. I guess I'll have to take another look. I mean, I was walking down the street when I checked. Maybe I just didn't look hard enough. I don't know. It's a good day for hot dogs and a little barbecue, a couple drinks on the beach, and a shiny Sandygast. That's why it's in the description. Oh, well, I'll get you... I like to make loops when I'm doing this. I don't like to leave one. It's that haunting idea of what happens, like, if you happen to pass up a Pokemon. Let's just say, so and again, this is all unconfirmed. This is a new generation of Pokemon. I mean, everything is different. This is all breaking grounds, new stuff. So it's not like this has been done before. So supposedly this is how it works. Let me run from this one. I discredited you as even being shiny. I didn't even give you a chance. Anyways, supposedly this is how it works. Other than there's magic chains that, again, roll for or call for rerolls that I can't even prove the math on because I shouldn't have to data mine. This is Malamar. Supposedly, it's already determined if this thing is going to spawn shiny or not. So you may walk right by it, or you may encounter it. Either way, the shiny odds have already been determined. So then the question becomes, if that's real, I actually don't believe that's real. I don't think it's calculating that much math. Like, it would just be easier on the processor if it went through that algorithm after I run into the Pokemon, not before. Nonetheless, if that theory is true, if that's really how it works, how many shinies have we all just walked right by and we'll never know? Because we're living in ignorance. It's storming. The power cut out for such a short time. All it managed to do was turn off my monitor and not my PC. I used to have a backup battery pack back when I was using my very first PC, or actually be my second PC. I used to have a battery backup to where the power, when it went out, it wouldn't cut out like that. Just for the very reason that flashing is not good. It's not really good for any electronics. Or flashing and surging, or neither of them are good. So I was paranoid, though. I didn't want that happening. The thing that was stupid, technology, I would say, has moved beyond this. But back in the day, anyways, if you had a power surge, it was stupid. It used to fry the router. And I've always had a modem and router in one up until a couple years ago when I bought these. The power supply would get fried every time. I actually carried extra power cords. And the funny thing is I got a lot of them at garage sales. They'd sell old router modems. They'd sell them for a couple bucks, and I'd buy them, throw the router in the garbage, or actually I'd recycle it, and keep the power supply, because I knew that if anything happened sketchy-like, it would go. And this is what's weird, is even a house with breakers, it made no sense. I thought the breakers would stop everything, but the power would surge or flash, and then pretty soon the internet router doesn't work anymore, and it's like, what happened? Well, power supply shot. So I'd always keep a backup power supply. I haven't had to do that in years, though. I don't believe that's still a modern problem that occurs. 49. I do need to get one. Ben slacking. The battery backup? I don't really see a use for it anymore. Well, I mean, I guess that's because I'm on a laptop, so my battery backup is literally right there. Part of the machine itself. If I was using a PC, if I was using a PC rather, I thought I'd mixed my words up. Turns out I was fine, and then I doubted myself. Either way, if I was using a PC, yeah, I might consider having a battery backup again. All right, that's 50 encounters of this stream, my friends. So far, a whole lot of nothing. Have any of y'all Gatsby? I'm confused what that's referring to. I don't believe you're referring to the book or the movie. Oh, the book. Have y'all read The Gatsby, The Great Gatsby? Of course. I think I had to read that. The movie was just for my own pleasure, but the book was mandatory. I kind of like just running from the encounters. I really hope that, again, that whatever that chain is that exists for the re-rolls, the 25 running chain, I really do hope that running from the encounter doesn't break that chain, contrary to what I've read, which is, like I said, I've read everything. Like, people have gone one way and the other with it. Either way, I hope it's intact, because running is so much easier. That's why the Glimwood Tangle Hunt, which is over 4,000 encounters without anything, except the first encounter, of course. It's just easier to run, and just keep generating more encounters. Grab a few watts there. Gotta build up the island. Vending machine doesn't pay for itself, you know? What's up, Link? How you doing? What happened to my spelling and grammar today? It's doing the same thing mine does. It's just falling apart. How's it going, Link? Happy 4th of July, or if it means nothing to you, then just happy 4th of the month of July. I wonder what would happen if you took the shovel out. For the Sandygast, they would be... well, actually, the anime kind of showed what happened if you pull the shovel out of its head. First, it evolves immediately, and then it grows about 10,000 sizes of itself, gets very angry, and eats you. We need some black sand. Yeah, the black sand's going to be right here. It's going to be right at the water's edge before you go into the water. That's where you find the black sand. What do you... I have a chain of 500 Clobbopus, or Clobbopi. What do you want to bet this thing's shiny? Nothing. By the way, isn't that weird? You encounter a Pokemon in the water, usually you get the water graphics, but this time he's on the land. If you encounter it right on this shore here, I don't know if that's a mistake or what. I'll come back for Clobbopus eventually. A bunch of half-started shiny hunts that I never finished. But hey, 56 encounters into the stream in what? 15 minutes? Moving fast. True, I have no shiny charm, but that's the charm of it. I'm old school. If you touch its shovel, it possesses you. Ash pulled a shovel out of Sandygast's head, and it just got very angry with him. That's at least in the anime how it works. I forget, Sandygast has a messed up Pokedex entry, I think, or maybe it's Palosan. I don't remember what it says. I just remember when I read it, I was like, whoa, that's pretty creepy, dude. Good thing the Pokedex is, like, it's pretty much the most inaccurate thing. It's almost, at this point, a Pokedex in the Pokemon world is probably like a meme book. It's just, you read it and you kind of laugh. You're like, that'd be so stupid. Do you guys, are you keeping up? Does anybody keep up with the Pokemon anime, especially the Sword and Shield with Go? And I'm not saying Pokemon Go. I meant literally the character's name is Go. G-O-H, Go. The reason, and it's not a spoiler, I suppose, but I saw this and I'm like, is that real? The current episode of the week that came out, there's an episode that came out that it features a Magikarp jumping contest. And I'm not kidding you. They literally show this. The Magikarp beats a shiny Magikarp in the jumping contest in the finals. The Magikarp trains so hard that it literally jumps into orbit. You literally watch it go right into orbit. And then Go freaks out because he realizes that Magikarp's not coming down. It never comes back. And they show it. Literally, it broke orbit. I'm like, so it's dead. You guys pretty much just showed it on screen. It's dead. Not that that's the first Pokemon death we've ever seen. Sun and Moon had Stoutland. The Power of Us had Luxray. Ash died a lot, but it was just kind of surprising. It was out of nowhere. It's like, that thing just died. I keep up with Sun and Moon, waiting for season 4 on Netflix. Hey, I can do you one better, man. Link, the Pokemon website, like actual Pokemon website, they have a little tab at the top, Pokemon TV. They post the episodes. I believe all of Sun and Moon is officially posted. 63, come on. Sandygast, come on, work with me. I normally don't count my encounters, and I don't know. To me, it's just like it's a flex, and I don't want to keep track of it. I used to do that all the time. I mean, for years, I kept track, and I'd be like, modern day, I would be one of those people that's like 2% chance, or I got a 2% Sandygast on 5135 phase 3 hunt, and like now I just want to be like, yeah, it took me 10 hours, and I'm done. I'm tired of counting encounters. I do keep track roughly where I'm at, how many encounters I probably got estimate-wise, so I know where I landed at the end, but that's about it. I never do what I'm doing right now. But right now I have the exact number because I was testing out a theory, and so I just figured, this hunt's going pretty long. Let's keep track. Long for these games. Back in the day, this would still be an early hunt to me. Like, this would be... Normally, I would expect to see a shiny, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't say I expect. It's just if I got past 2,500 encounters, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm not going to get super lucky on this one. All right, moving into a normal size hunt. I was gone for a sec now. Dude, you do not have to worry. Do not ever apologize to me for being gone from my stream. You don't even have to apologize for not being here. I'm absolutely humble and happy that you're here, and if you enjoy it, that's great. I'm really glad, and I hope everybody enjoys it. The second that it's not enjoyable, I don't obligate anybody to stay just to show support or whatever the popular phrase is. Either show and support or, I don't know, enduring it for... I don't even know why people do it. I'm just saying, if it's not fun, just, go do something that's fun. It's your time. Nonetheless, it's always a pleasure to see you. Remember when I gave you Ice Cube for your Pokedex? I still have that. I still have that little guy. Because I don't have Pokemon... well, I guess I do have Shield. It's Naya's copy, but it's on the Switch, so... Either way. No, I still have it, though. May the power of Freedom Day give you shiny powers. Yeah, I kind of, if anybody saw my message in Discord, I was like, I saw something trending, and I was like, huh. And I looked, and I was like, that actually is kind of sad. I'm going to forever associate that with the 4th of July. Oh, forgot to add one. There we go. See, you just put another 100 behind you so fast when you're running away from them. It's actually fast enough that I almost don't, even if that running chain does require you to attack and feint them every single time, I almost don't even want to do it because it's just so much faster to encounter run. I mean, that's how random encounter shiny hunting works. That was the go-to method for me. I mean, I was talking about this the other day. It was apparently not common knowledge that if you, in Gen 2, my very first shiny hunts were in Gen 2, I did not know that not everybody knew that if you bred, back then, a shiny Pokemon and made an egg, I didn't know this at the time, but the shiny odds, which were normally 1 in 8,192, they would significantly drop, like down to 1 in 60. It was a huge drop. I didn't know it back in the day. I don't even know how I discovered it back in the day, but there's a lot of people that didn't know. I died. Whoops. All right, well, speech did not work, so I hope it was enjoyable. I lost the game card for Pokemon Sword, so I can't play right now. That is extremely unfortunate, and well, it depends, I guess, what you were doing with it. I was going to say, it's really confusing how you lost the game card. I can't imagine losing a game card, but if you were, like, transferring it around, or, I don't know, if you were taking your Switch on the go. Like, for instance, my Switch pretty much just stays in the dock full time, all the time. Or I'll take it out and I'll go sit on the couch or something, but I certainly never take it outside the house. I left for a little, whatever that word is. Therefore, the moral of the story, Hoy was hiding in the bathroom. Jose, what's going on, my friend? How is your fourth going? I decided to shiny hunt just because, I don't know, I had some time. I was just sitting here. I'm like, well, I got nothing to do, and I don't feel like cleaning the kitchen or anything, so I just kind of want to continue my shiny hunt. And I'm like, you know what, whatever. It'll take me, 15 extra minutes to hit go live, and I'll just do it live. Probably should have brushed my teeth. I can feel them after lunch. They're needing it. But that's pretty much the biggest problem I've got. I don't have a lot of worries. How's everyone doing? Hopefully everybody's doing great. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. I, for once, am actually counting my encounters. So at 2640 is exactly the point I stopped because I wanted it to be on an even number, which means we're actually into the 2700 range. 80 encounters. What is that? I'm confused. Those stupid bald things. What? I'm just trying to get all the wetsuits in Animal Crossing. Oh, did it update? Now I'm never going to record Shadow Hearts with Naya because she's going to definitely want to know it updated. But that also means that it might be time to consider revisiting everybody's islands again. I gotta admit, there was a point where I was like, oh yeah, this probably won't be that long of a hunt. Like, I don't know, I guess I see my Twitter feed, for instance, go by with all these people going, 26 encounters in, boom, I got the shiny, and 14 encounters. I actually wondered if they raised the shiny odds significantly on the Isle of Armor just to hype people up because of how many people were running into random shinies. I am definitely living proof that, no, they didn't do anything. The odds are still here, but I was getting hopeful at some point. I mean, I don't even know. I think I'm over odds, but it doesn't really matter. A lot of people, I don't understand this one. Have you guys ever heard somebody asking the question, how long does it take to get that shiny? Like, about how long does it take? And it's like, it could be anywhere from 2 minutes to 20 years, depending on how good your luck is, but your odds say that you're more likely to get it in, let's say, 2 hours. There are so many people that do not understand how odds and statistics work. It's semi-concerning. But enough of that. Your dad deleted your other island. Oh, dude. So, yeah, you, wait. Shelby, you had a really cool island, though, I thought. I guess that's a shame. But, yeah, it's kind of funny how it works, I guess. There's a lot of people that still are extremely ticked off that you can't have your own islands, that you all have to share an island on the same console. That's primarily the reason why. I've never shiny hunted, but the only shinies I have gotten, even... Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I gotta... Ever, there we go. I had to scroll the chat up a little bit. The window was too low. Are in a Alolan Raticate, a Seismitoad, and a... Oh, Squallbat. I've had so many shinies. Well, actually, I know the exact amount. Or I shouldn't say the exact amount. I know that I broke into the 500 range recently. Because I was definitely keeping track of how many shinies I had back in the day. So, but I've wasted probably way too much of my life shiny hunting. I was like, when I was looking back at it, I've played a lot of games over the years. However, I realized I've spent so much time grinding on Pokemon that when I really compared like what I played as a child versus what everybody else played, I mean, I didn't have that many games, to be honest. There's a lot of games I didn't play. Basically, I have probably a fraction of what everybody else has under their belt for games, thanks to how much time I put into Pokemon. He was staying at my house and he deleted my save. Oh, dude, that sucks. That's pretty much a rude move. I mean, you should. I shouldn't critique parenting, so I'll leave it there. But that's pretty rude. And I blew through the first glass of water rather fast, so unfortunately I might have to run to the kitchen here. Maybe at 100 encounters I will. Yeah, I can't believe that. I already drank the first glass of water. Alright. Here's 95 onto the already existing 2640. Biscuit, what's going on? People look at me weird when I say I have 430 hours in Ultra Sun, over 430 hours. Yeah, I was going to say, it's not a lot. I had thousands of hours on Pokemon Diamond. Thousands of hours. When you're making, and back in the day, I should say, making competitive teams definitely took up the most time. That was far worse than shiny hunting, because I didn't have any tools back then for breeding effectively. It was a long, drawn-out process. Welcome back, Jose. I'm going to run to the kitchen in 4 more encounters after this and get some water. I'll be right back in a moment. 4 more encounters. Unless I find... If I find Sandygast, like, right now, that'd be awesome. But then immediately I'll go into the Skorupi hunt. Random comment. At first I thought it said Covenant, like the game I was playing, Shadow Hearts. I was like, what? Random comment. I'm very happy because they announced... Oh, okay. I see. I was like, what the heck? You typoed. Some of my favorite games, they announced a Hat in Time DLC for PS4. I have a friend that's playing a Hat in Time right now. I've heard a lot of people say, in fact, when I was playing Sunshine a couple weeks ago, there was a lot of people in chat saying how great a Hat in Time is. Here's 99 encounters. 99 on-stream encounters. Alright. I'm going to encounter this. Alright, that's 100. Let me go get some water. I'll even put up the be right back screen, but I'll be right back. Literally, like, right back. Farewell. I'll be right back. All right. Back at it again. Let's go. Here comes 101. At least 101 this stream. Need to reposition it really quickly. And I'm ready to go. Let's go. Need to get my hair out of my eyes. That would help. Yeah, that's pretty much how the shiny hunts go. Is it's like, I don't know, you blow through 100. It's like this 100. They just rack up rather fast. That's exactly how I used to do it back when I would count my shinies. Is I would just kind of look at like 100 encounters. It's pretty much just a milestone. It's like, all right, there goes another 100. Throw them in the box. Unless it was radar hunting. I loved radar hunting. Radar hunting was extremely involved. I loved it. My very first video I ever posted on this channel is of a radar hunt, and it was just a test video to see how things would look. I was like, I'm just going to play around with the mic. And I wasn't even trying so much to hunt. I mean, I was, but I wasn't, and then I just got sucked in and realized that I had found 10 shiny Ralts, and who knows how many times I reset that radar, but a couple hours went by for sure. Rather fast. Still failed to find a shiny. That's right. It's been a good batch of encounters. You can't really fail to find. Well, I mean, I guess you can fail to find a shiny. It's not blame-wise my fault. It's because this little pile of sand here isn't sparkly, and if it would work with me a little better, then this would be good to go. But appreciate the watts. I kind of like, by the way, if anybody likes my Nuzlocks, I posted it a couple times. The Isle of Armor lock finished up. So now that I can talk about the end of the Isle of Armor, minus the hop stuff, I haven't done that yet. But that ending was it was pretty funny. I did not expect that. I thought I was going in with a full team and doing like a Battle Tower-esque thing. I did not realize that you were going to be stuck with Kubfu alone. So at first I was like, oh man, this kind of makes it a bust. I was almost thinking, wow, I never should have posted this series at all. It makes no sense. If I was going to catch all these Pokemon just to be stuck with one solo at the end. It actually ended up being a pretty brilliant play on my part. I give myself a lot of credit because it was pretty cool, actually. It was pretty fun. The first 4 floors on that tower were just total pushovers. But then the last one, I had a pretty clever moveset ready for that. So it was pretty fun. You were trying to get a 6 IV Ditto, and then out of 100... Yeah, I got 3 shiny Ditto. That was a fast one. That was a really fast one. Even for Let's Go, that was extremely fast. I didn't have a shiny charm. So it took me about an hour after that, give or take. I split it up a little bit. It took me an hour to find a perfect Ditto, and I got taunted because I recall the CP I was looking for was 1150, and I found a Ditto that had 1150 CP. But it was missing. It was like, it was probably a 31 out of 32 in one category, which caused that IV to be, instead of fantastic, it was best. So, or no, it was fantastic. It needed to be best, but it wasn't. So I was like, oh man, I got a 5 IV Ditto here that was like 1 point short, enough that the CP rolled over into the 1150 zone, but it wasn't perfect. And then shortly after that, I found the perfect one. I was like, oh, good, nice. I still haven't transferred that over. The whole point was to transfer it over so I could do some quirky teams and make videos out of that because I love battling, but I just don't have the time to be super competitive. So instead, I was going to utilize my resources to be super stupid. And yet, I still haven't even done that. Grab some black food dye. No one will notice. And a little bit of fungus will do the same thing. Get a little mold out of the sink. Pour it all over the sand to be good to go. Back again. I think the coolest part, like, I loved having Palisand. I want to say I had a Palisand in both Moon and Ultra Moon when I did those playthroughs, and the Ultra Moon was a Nuzlocke, and I was happy to have found a Sandygast. I think I found one. I take it back. I don't think I ever found a... no, yeah, that's exactly it. I never found a Sandygast during my Nuzlocke, so... scratch that. Either way, Palossand has the coolest entrance out of a Pokeball. That is just so cool. That was probably the defining moment. I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely want a shiny Sandygast at some point. And now I can do it without having to go back to Ultra Moon. It'd be kind of cool to hunt in Ultra Moon, but I don't know. I guess I found it a lot of work to set up because I'm not a fan of the SOS method. Yeah, it's not bad, but you gotta have. There's multiple ways you can do it. You gotta have a self-sustaining Pokemon, so you pretty much just use the harvest trick is my favorite, I think, and get an SOS chain going. But I mean, at a certain point, I guess, I don't know, it's just you're sitting there and you're just doing the same thing over and over, which is what all shiny hunting is. But it feels too much like egg hunting, where I'm just sitting there waiting for it to encounter and encounter and encounter. But I don't know, I guess SOS, I should have given it more of a chance. I just never got into it. It was probably a little funner. Like eggs, I've hatched like 50,000 eggs. I'm done with that. I may go back to egg hunting a little bit soon with that 6IV Ditto. It'd be kind of cool to. The only issue is I would have to go find acquisition or find another Ditto, a foreign Ditto, if I want to help the odds out. But nonetheless, I might hatch a few eggs here or there. But I prefer field hunting. There's been more rain in the entirety of 2019 than in my country. Also, what is your favorite shiny? My favorite shiny. Also, I sympathize. I hope that rain's not flooding you. I hope that this is just a casual, like, oh, wow, there's a lot of rain. I hope it's not. Oh, yeah, the basement hasn't been dry in months. My favorite shiny. A lot of people assume it's going to be Nidoking. And, like, I think blue Nidoking looks a little off. Like, I love the purple way more than I love the blue. Not that I don't like shiny Nidoran or Nidoking, but it's not up there in my favorites. So that's out, just to debunk that. Here's 123. On this stream anyways. My favorite shinies. Darkrai is definitely up there. I would say Darkrai, I had to have a shiny Darkrai so bad that I exploited a glitch in the game to acquisition Darkrai and then soft reset until it worked. So Darkrai is definitely up there. I think every single person on the planet can agree that Giratina's got one of the best shinies. Let's see, what else? Trying to think what some of my shinies, my favorites were. Like, Absol was up there. Absol was pretty good. Metagross. Metagross is an excellent shiny. I love that shiny form for sure. This is an odd one, you guys, and I'm just listing off at this point what some of my favorite shinies are. Oddish. So most people think that that little Oddish is just a slightly less green, or it's a lighter green. But wait until it evolves into Bellossom. Then it actually looks a lot more vibrant. So Bellossom's a good one. I guess I'm not a fan. Like, Dragonair is a really good one. Dragonite just looks weird when he's green. So that kind of blows that one out of the water. Dialga's a good one too, because I obviously liked Dialga enough to hunt that one twice. Trying to think. And a lot of these are legendaries, of course. Palossand is definitely a really cool shiny. Going through a lot of Pokemon in my head right now, trying to think what's really cool. Reshiram and actually, is it just Reshiram that has a really cool one? Nah, I think both Zekrom and Reshiram both have really cool shinies. I don't remember off the top of my head what Zekrom's looks like. I'd have to look it up. But they're really cool. And yeah, I'm getting into a bad habit of just listing all the shiny legendaries. Yeah, it does seem like sometimes they take more care. I wish they would put more effort sometimes into the shiny forms. But yeah, they take a lot more care to make really cool legendary shinies. Heck, even Zacian. I'm not a fan of Zacian at all, but if you've seen Zacian's shiny form, Zacian looks amazing with the shiny. Unfortunately, it's locked, so we can't access it legitimately, which means the only ones that get to enjoy that beauty are the hackers. Thank you for rewarding the hackers. Gudra, Seismitoad, Palossand, Zera, Aura, and Umbreon. Umbreon is definitely a favorite because it looks so cool with that light blue. So I don't know if I would consider it one of my favorites necessarily, but it's up there. It's definitely it's definitely far more positive than say some of the negative ones. Like Glaceon here. Glaceon just turns a little bit lighter. A lot of ice types, they get really cruddy. Like, I wish, for instance, example, Frostlass has a terrible shiny. It's just brighter. Regice, same thing. A lot of ice types, they just get brighter blue. And it's like, why don't you turn them black or something? Can you imagine a black Regice with red eyes? Dude, you'd see that and you'd be like, oh my god. Do what you did to, like, Rayquaza. Rayquaza is an excellent example. It was dark green, light green mixed, and they flipped the palette completely and just said, well, what if it was black? And so you've got a black Sky Dragon. Like, that's an amazing shiny. Again, with the legendary shinies, though. Then shiny lock them. I'm not used to shiny locks. I never hunted prior to this, and I guess Moon, but I really didn't do a lot of shiny hunting in Moon. Prior to this, I was not familiar with the concept of a shiny lock. So when I found out after the fact, years later, when I was like, oh, yeah, how did that Pokemon Black game and White, how did those turn out anyways? And I found out about shiny locking. I'm like, oh, man, I would have run off a cliff. I would have reset 10,000 times before I learned that. Zygarde is shiny locked. I'm not a fan of Zygarde altogether. I pretty much think that Pokemon looks ridiculous. A lot of people disagree with me, and that's the beauty of opinions. I'm not right, it's just my opinion. Sorry to change the subject. No worries, man. Talking about my plots in Animal Crossing. Let me just double check. I didn't see this encounter. I didn't even count it. Alright, he's not shiny. Pretty sure I would have heard it, but... I time travel a day or two to... Or a day to get flowers to pick. I just ran right by him, didn't I? That's another thing I haven't done, by the way. I have not been caught in inattention at any point ever. I've never failed a shiny. I've never had to Master Ball a shiny either. So I've had random encounters where I'm literally run into a full odds shiny. I have not ever had to Master Ball a shiny because that's what I save the Master Ball for, is emergency shiny encounter. Like if it's an aberrant, it's going to teleport. In Ultra Moon, that is. Hold on. Let me look back. Like, if they're going to shiny lock Pokemon, then what was the point of giving that Pokemon a shiny form in Ultra Moon? I agree. Like, what was so bad about... why shiny lock them? I don't understand. To me, it's just... It makes very little... Unless they're trying to get you to go to their events. Zeraora is an example. No, Zeraora is a terrible example because that was post-added into Ultra Moon. I guess it would be, I don't know. Has there ever been a Pokemon that they gave out a shiny form as a gift or like a GameStop promotional Pokemon that was shiny locked? I don't know if they ever did that, but that would be the only thing I could think. Someone moved into my open plot. It was Hamfree. The hamster? I think I know that one. I think Naya might have Hamfree, or if she had Hamfree, the hamster. She got rid of it, unfortunately. It's kind of funny. Animal Crossing is an interesting game when it comes to morality. If you look at the internet and everybody and how they decide who the villagers are that are going to be on their island and how there's streams entirely devoted to hunting the right villager, it kind of shows that, like, in a game where you can do and be anything, it's a fantasy world, your greatest desire is to have everything beautiful, which means you rule out the ugly right away. So in a fantasy world where people can have anything they want and customize things, they choose to accessorize beauty and forsake ugly. It's like, and that's an expression of yourself on what you truly want out of life. if you could be anything, what do you want? And so they construct their islands, and they're like, okay, get rid of all the ugly people. Or I should say the villagers. Or islanders? Lunala and Solgaleo, I think, were shiny locked. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, that's exactly it. Lunala and Solgaleo are shiny locked. Or Cosmog, really. Shiny locked. Then they gave out the shiny forms later after the fact. So it forces you to have interest in their gift giveaway. One time I got a shiny Zygarde card for Ultra Moon from GameStop. Okay, so then they gave away Zygarde. So there's, yeah, then that's exactly it. That's the only thing I could think that they want to keep interest alive and get people to act on the gifts and the events. Like Zeraora, for instance. This is the only way that you can get a shiny Zeraora. Prior to this, there's never been an ability to have a shiny Zeraora legitimately ever. So they made you have interest in raiding Zeraora. Whoops. I don't like any of the hamsters except Apples. Is there really a hamster named Apples? I've only ever disliked one of my villagers, not because he was ugly. Well, I remember the very first day the game came out, ugly villagers was trending because people actually, I feel bad, they wasted so much time of their life. People soft reset the game. Not even until they got, quote-unquote, pretty villagers. Oh, he's not brilliant. When did I attack? It wasn't even until they got pretty villagers. They wanted both pretty villagers and they wanted the fruit native to their island to be something that... I don't even know how you can do this. They literally said a non-ugly fruit. So I saw people trying to purposely get cherries and peaches. I was like, how can a fruit be ugly? Like, I guess, like... A durian is pretty ugly, and it smells awful. So, not that that's an Animal Crossing, but I'm like, it was pretty funny actually. But yeah, people were soft resetting their islands, wasted a ton of time, unknowing that you can swap your villagers out later. Yeah, mean and ugly. Like, if they were using that synonymous, I would understand. If they meant ugly, like ugly personality, just a very nasty villager, I could understand. But that wasn't it. I mean, they were literally... It's like Raymond the cat. How many people physically, there's been extremes where people pay money to have that stupid cat on their island. I don't even like that cat. I looked at it, I'm like, what's so great about that thing? If he wanted on my island, not that I have an island because it's really Naya's island, still, if Raymond wanted on my island, I'd tell him no, go away. But there's people that are willing to put up real money. I'm like, man. So, yeah, that's... at the end of the day, they were using their villagers as status symbols. I was like, what a moral victory for you guys. Animal Crossing has not taught you that lesson. You chose to make that a lesson that people see. I didn't soft reset. I got cherries, and my villagers were Antonio and Rocket. So Rocket. Jeez, Rocket. Someone found an Eternatus raid. That's hacked, right? That's impossible. It's not that she's pretty, it's because... Whoops, making sure it's... Come on. Making sure it's not shiny. She moved in on a second island. Okay. So, yeah, and that's exactly it. Is I don't know if I could judge somebody. I mean, I'm not in the business of judging people, but I don't know if I could look at somebody and be like, I don't know, I guess it's like hacking shinies in, right? So somebody followed me on Twitter that hacks Pokemon. Literally, that's all their tweets. Contact me now, €2. You can have any Pokemon 6 IV shiny because I know exactly how they do it. Videos all over on how to do it. And so I straight up on my high ground. I'm standing on the high ground. They're Anakin looking up at me because I stand there and go, look, that's scummy. You are not a real shiny hunter. And you don't know how to play Pokemon. Or you're not willing to put the effort to play Pokemon because you're just going to cheat. So I do judge in that instance, and I try not to judge, but that's one of those that I judge. Same thing is, I don't think I would ever stand there and truly look at somebody who plays Animal Crossing and say, oh, you have gotten rid of your ugly villagers based on their looks. That makes you an ugly person. I don't think I could ever judge them for that. I just wanted to dig a little further and decide. I'm like, so are people really, they want their villagers to be part of the status symbol of their islands, right? I'm not missing this morality point here. So it's not a stretch. I'm like, I'm pretty sure people want their villagers to represent them. Similar to having a good paint job on a car. Someone found an Eternatus Max raid. Is it legit? Let me take a look. Is that really a thing? I thought Eternatus was not available via raiding. It's like those Melmetal raids where you'll see them. Heck, I think I might have seen one the other day. If I don't remember if that was what it was or not, but oops. There we go. Melmetal is not available right now. Legendary raids in general are not available, minus their aura. It's kind of a mythical raid, but still. So either way, Melmetal is definitely not available yet. You'll see people that are in Melmetal raids. Oh yeah, those are hacks. Yep. Only villager I disliked was because it was mean. Yeah, that's Naya had a jerk of a villager. It was Biff. Biff the hippo. Biff definitely was like, you don't want to deal with that all day. You definitely want to get him off your island. He literally insults other villagers. And then you get a huge scene going through of other villagers complaining to you. There was a glitch to do missing number raids. I think I know what that was, but it wasn't a missing number necessarily. It was more so unfilled numbers. So it was Pokemon coming up from previous generations that were not originally in the game, but they put the placeholder there so you could raid them. I guess that's probably why there was a... Oh, you were trying to get in. That's single-handedly the number one reason I probably would never get back into competitive, is because now hacking is so prevalent that... I mean, I thought it was bad back when I was a teen and I was in the competitive scene. I used to go to those tournaments and I'd be like, oh, dirty hackers, you don't belong here. If you guys hack, like, seriously, you're no good. You're horrible people. I was pretty bad about that. But... now hacking is so bad, and exploiting different shiny raids with 6 IV, like it's horrible. It's so bad. I would never get back into competitive ever. I want Bob because I have him in all the other games, but I don't have his amiibo, and I'm not paying $30 to get a pack. Isn't that weird? So apparently those amiibo cards, I'm not familiar with how that works. The amiibos, but the amiibo cards they're using, like that was from New Leaf. So those cards are not new, which means that they're legacy items, which means their retail value exploded, or their resale value exploded after Animal Crossing New Horizons came out. So I can't imagine paying that much for a villager. I hate Biff. He made Baby Tangy and Judy mad. Yeah, for Naya, it was Sylvia, I want to say was the name of the villager. The kangaroo got real upset with Biff, and then she's like, from there, she complained to Isabel. I'm not sure what that does. But she complained to Isabel, and then after that, she ended up building a wall around his house until he just left. I was like... And to an extent, that's not the way it works. It's like having a bad neighbor, and you gotta figure out if there's a peace agreement you can come to, or it's like having a homeowners association, and you got one bad apple, and you're in charge of the homeowners association. The adult compromise thing to do, I should say, the thing to do as an adult is to compromise and see if you can work with the person to tone them down a little bit, maybe see why they're so irked, or get them to understand what they're doing to people before you just go and throw them off the island, or in this case, I should say get them out of the association, or in this case, throw them off the island. But in Naya's case, she just jumped to immediate revenge, followed by get off my island and never come back. It does nothing telling Isabel about the villager. Oh, well, I thought it was a game mechanic to try and tone down bad villagers, to make people understand that sometimes there's conflict and you got to come to a resolution, not just terraform a wall around their house and then throw garbage at them over the other side of the wall. I dislike those things, and honestly, corruptions in game kind of get me nervous. Oh, using hacks and such. Yeah, no, that's definitely no good. Because a lot of Pokemon, for instance, you raid the wrong Pokemon, and simply owning that Pokemon causes the game to go corrupt because it can't. It's looking for reference files that don't exist. What I feel bad about is there's a lot of people out there that are not aware of what's going on in that front. They don't realize it's a hacked raid, and it's too late. They can't do anything about it. It's already done. It's all said and done by the time they figure it out because the game doesn't work anymore. It's bricked. But more so for me, it's just I don't like shortcuts. All right, Sandygast, we're coming up on 180 in this stream alone. Here we are, 180. Are you going to beat it? There it is, 180. No. So let's see. Wow, more time has gone by than I thought was going to go by. So I'll still keep going. I got maybe half hour, 45 minutes, possibly an hour. It was going to be a somewhat short stream, but certainly not like yesterday. Yesterday was insanity. That oops, I just put 2 on there, so now I'm gonna have to keep track of that. That Smash stream was absolutely insane. It was hilarious. I was watching it back. I downloaded the stream and I was watching it back, and I clipped a couple of things out of the stream because they were I put them into the highlights video for 2020, but it was just insane. I was like, wow. 5 hours went by before I even noticed. I'm like, I really wanted to play Smash, apparently. It's been a while. 2 days before Pokemon Home released, I was in the Great Ball tier, almost getting to the Ultra Ball, and I got killed by a person with a hacked Tyranitar, Ice-Q, Gardevoir. And now I don't play competitive anymore. Yeah, the idea of going online at home and doing it, you're going to go up against hackers. You're going to go up against hackers and people that shut their game console off before the end of the battle. I remember the old school way of that was you couldn't go online with Diamond, I don't believe. Like, you couldn't. Yeah, you could. I take it back. You could. So there was a USB adapter. And that was your Wi-Fi. That was the LAN unit. So you'd plug in the USB, it would broadcast the signal, and then you could use that to go online and battle people on Diamond and Pearl. And there were just... that was the go-to, because your record was shown when you went up there. Your record was shown, and there were a ton of people that wanted to keep their losses at, like, 0. So they would just shut it off right before the end of a battle. You do that in real life, and you can stare the person down and be like, hey, what was that? Oh, it looks like you shut the game off because you were going to lose, right? But my favorite memories were with people that had respect with you. Like, you respected them through the battle, win or loss. Especially if they set you up. Like, so that was one of my biggest tricks. Probably the number one reason I won a lot of battles. Like, you say with Tyranitar, and it's like, everyone's using Tyranitar right now. That is one of the most popular Pokemon right now is Tyranitar. And I know that they're going to, a ton of people are like, they're using Eldegoss, Tyranitar, Tailwind with the Eldegoss. And it's like, okay, well, first things first. I know that if I want to beat most people I encounter, be ready to reverse that Tailwind. Case in point, Trick Room Malamar. And the second you bust their combo, which they probably watched a YouTuber come up with it in the first place, the second you bust it, they are out. They leave, they run, goodbye. Unless I'm winning, I don't want to play. And so that's something you definitely face with online competitive. Hackers and then the runners. Oh, Sandygast. I actually enjoy probably one of my favorite things, like with Battle Tower. So I still haven't done the Battle Tower in the Rose Tower. And the reason I was going to do Battle Tower was I was going to actually breed up a proper team to go into Battle Tower with. And I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. I think I'm going to breed up a proper team, but I'm not going to get all my IVs perfect. Either way, I still want to do the Battle Tower with a proper team. But anymore, that was kind of the reason I was going to breed in the first place. But the Battle Tower, and then I've got a little vial of armor left. Hop is in the forest waiting for me for something. I don't believe that's going to be part of the armor lock. There's no reason to have that. I don't know what he's going to do in there, but even if I end up battling Hop, like, I know there's no more Clara battles, so as far as I'm concerned, ending the Isle of Armor on Clara and then Mustard was a good way to end that. Otherwise, I feel like the challenge would go and just kind of fall off a cliff. Like, the ending wouldn't really be distinguished in any way. There's no solid marking point. Ending it with Mustard at the top of that tower after Clara's battle, that was definitely a good Nuzlocke point to stop, especially for a DLC where it only had 6 episodes, 7 episodes, whatever it ended. I think it was 7 in the end. My first Pokemon game a friend had. What's that, Sword? Certainly beats the heck out of the old school way to do it. Old school used to be like this. You could only play with your friends, physically of course, so you had to have the link cable. Better hope that link cable was in really good shape, because that stupid cord would interrupt your connection super easily. On top of that, you had to go to their house to do anything, so you could only really play with your neighbors, because otherwise you had to take your Game Boy to school. Problem is, either your parents didn't let you take the Game Boy to school, even though it's portable, or if you took it to school, the teachers would take it if they saw it. Even at recess, they would take the Game Boys. And I remember, because there's a lot of people that they took their Game Boys and then mixed them up. They did not care whose was whose. So they just had a drawer full of a bunch of Game Boys. And they on the fly decided to make a rule that, okay, Game Boys are banned from school. You can't have those. So then they kept them. You either had to come in with your parent, or I remember there was one teacher that just kept them until the very end of the year. And it was like, dude, who the hell's even got, like, that's not my Game Boy. What color was it? Yellow? Well, there's 6 of them in there that are yellow. So link cables, it's good that was not a good way to do it back in the day. Reminiscing. Be right back. All right, no problem, Shelby. First game was, X and Y. X and Y. X is the one I want to get to. X, Black and Black 2. Those are the games I missed after I bailed out for a little while and ended up in college without doing a lot of gaming. That's when Black came out. Black 2, X, Y. Well, I should say I'm going through the ones I'm going to play. X. Eventually, I'm trying to get the Black Nuzlocke going, and then Black 2. What's up, Spina? How are you doing? Happy 4th of July. Whether that means Independence Day for you, or if you're outside of my country, that just means the 4th of another month. But nonetheless, I hope that you're having a good weekend. How are you doing? I am shiny hunting. I had a little bit of time left, and so I was like, I'm going to shiny hunt. I'm going to try and finish this hunt up. Then I decided, you know what? Why don't I just hit go live, and we'll do it. We'll do it shiny hunt live. And I was feeling pretty confident. The confidence is not based on any scientific data or anything. It's just general feeling. I was like, oh, I could get this thing live. I bet I'm going to do it. So far, no good. But without the shiny charm. No shiny charm for me. I'm hunting old school. And I need a little water. Hang on. Okay. That was not shiny, right? Yeah. Just want to double check. I imagine the chat would explode, but I got 10 seconds between what really happens in the chat, so... With 10 seconds, it's dangerous because if I'm not paying attention, which so far I've never failed a shiny because of inattentiveness. I've never failed a shiny ever. I'm always extremely attentive, and I even take it a little slower. Sabina, thank you so much. I am honored. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really hope that I have a ton of content for you to enjoy. I know that everybody's got a long list of subscriptions on the left side of that menu when they log into YouTube or pull up the app. I am honored to be on that list. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I do a number of things. First, losing count. There we go. I do a number of different series. Right now, you can expect a Nuzlocke going on at any point. You can expect Smash, Splatoon 2, and Pokemon Sword streams, plus streams of oddities like Mario Sunshine every now and then. And then I always have a series going with Naya. It's part of a larger series called I Can't Believe You Never Played, where we're making up childhood/teen games that one played that the other didn't. Or I guess in the case of like Red Dead Redemption, if we end up doing it, I'm not sure we're going to on recording. It would be an adult game that I missed. Either way, at the end of the day, it's a game that one of us played that the other one didn't. Hopefully some of that stuff sounds fun and exciting. Nonetheless, thank you so much. I am honored. Also, haven't heard that go off in a while. Did that sound okay? I'm hoping that it did. A little notification. It looks like it was at a decent audio level. So that's 209 encounters so far. Sandygast, I'm feeling good about you, but you're not feeling good back, obviously. Nuzlocke. Yeah, so... I'm in a very, very well-seasoned battler. And because of that, doing a regular Let's Play, to me, wouldn't make sense because I feel like I don't know, I don't see any enjoyment because I'm focused on the game a lot of the time, so I'm not really, sometimes I get into stories, but it's not like I'm a comedian or anything. There's nothing, I wouldn't listen to me talk. So I add the challenge in because I know that if it were a regular Pokemon game run-through, I'd just roll over it with no problem. So where's the excitement in that, right? So I always add a little... sounded okay? Sweet! I always add the challenge in there, and particularly the blind Nuzlocke. I don't do like super randomized extreme Nuzlocke crossed with Digimon. I stick to the core game, unaltered, but... I guess the defining reason I'm playing it is because I missed the game. Right now, I have several games I never played. So I will be getting back to those. Also, the remakes are in there. So Heart Gold, Soul Silver, I never played it. Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, never played it. I played Sapphire, I played Silver, never played the remakes. So those are in there as well. I'm going to have to go back and play those. My villager in Animal Crossing just gave me a trash can. Naya had the best experience with a villager giving her a gift. It was the greatest thing. I was laughing so hard I couldn't even breathe. You guys know the penguin Aurora? The villager Aurora. Aurora, first off, I thought was a dude. It's a girl. Aurora has the red eye effect. I don't know what that is or why they did that, but occasionally Aurora closes her eyes and they turn solid red for a second. And so... Aurora kept doing this. Like, I would play the game. I'd be on the game. And I never saw Aurora do that. But I was standing there multiple times when Naya saw Aurora's eyes turn red. And I was like, I would do this voice. I'd be like, hey, how are you doing today? How's everything going? It's a little hot in here, isn't it? And she'd be like, oh my God, what is wrong with this penguin? And I'm like, you've got a demonic penguin. It's hilarious. So after months or a month of that going on, she decides that she wants Aurora off the island. So she goes into Aurora's house and she goes, oh, wait, maybe not because Aurora's making a DIY. Maybe I'll get a good gift from this. So I walk in. I swear this is exactly how it goes. I sit down. I had a drink. Like I had made some tea in the kitchen. I sit down. I'm like, oh, You're finally coming around to Aurora. I knew that you could accept that Aurora had an inner demon. You guys can get along. So Aurora literally goes, oh yeah, I'm making a DIY. Here, have it. And she looks at it, and I'm literally start bursting out in laughter. I can't, uncontrolled laughter, because it's a gravestone. And I'm literally like, I'm laughing so hard I can't even breathe. I'm like, hey, I got you something. It's your tombstone. And it's like, you're standing there, I'm like, next week, Aurora's going to give you a suit, and then after that, some nice shoes. It's like, and then a shovel, because you're going to have to dig the hole yourself. It's like, dang. And yes, she got rid of Aurora for that very reason. That was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. I was laughing so hard. Like, your demon penguin gave you a freaking tombstone. So that was probably the best time I'd ever seen. So the trash can gift, that would be pretty funny. But the tombstone from the demonic penguin, that was priceless. Absolutely priceless. Oops, I forgot to hit the button. We're at 224. There we go. Any penguin does that. Oh, do they all do that? I know there's another villager that has the red eye effect. I don't remember which one it is. That villager is known more for it for some reason. I don't think as many people are aware that Aurora does it. Aurora did it in New Leaf, too. I came to find out after the fact. I want the DIY tombstone. Yeah, it was the greatest thing. It could have come from anyone. There were 8 villagers on that island, and it had to come from the demon. I was like, that's great. You cannot make this up. That is perfect. Yes, Dottie the bunny. That's right. Dottie the bunny is the one that's known more for that red eye effect. But she got Aurora, and it was like... and literally, it was great when she was trying to get Aurora off the island, right? She was naive enough, I say. I always tell her, you were naive enough to think that you could just raise the land or build a fence. Or no, she didn't raise the land. She built a fence around Aurora's house, trying to get Aurora to leave. Aurora would teleport and literally just appear. And so she thought Aurora was behind the fence this entire time. So she walks up to the main hall. Here's Aurora sitting in a lounge chair drinking tea, and her eyes turn red. And I was like, you didn't think it'd be that easy, did you? How are you doing today, Naya? That was the greatest thing. Getting there. I was sad to see the penguin go, to be honest. I was hoping that it would never leave, ever. Unlock the judge function. With the battle tower. Yeah, I need that, honestly, because that's especially the problem. I wanted to breed a team. I'm not going to focus on IVs necessarily, but breeding a team for a battle tower is... It makes no sense. That's out of order because I can't tell what the IVs are on my Pokemon yet. But I wanted to make something special out of the battle tower. I know that getting the judge function is pretty easy. I was hoping to make some ridiculous team that would be able to wash over the entire battle tower in one go with some crazy strategy. A character with full black eyes does that when they get surprised. Their eyes turn red. Aurora, I'm not sure what. It literally just out of nowhere, its eyes would just be blinking, and her eyes would turn red, and it was like, that's so messed up. I used Zorua, or Zorora? You're either trying to say Zeraora or Zoroark. Zoroark. I hate trying to say that Pokemon's name. 2 legendaries and a shiny Zeraora. No, not Zeraora. Zorora. You mean Zorua? And I'm trying not to do it with legendaries either. I kind of laugh sometimes at, like, when I'm doing online battles. Earlier I was doing online battles right after the Nuzlocke. And it's just like, everybody was using, like, it was just hilarious. I'd throw a team out, especially it was my Nuzlocke team, and it would be like, your opponent is using Zamazenta and Zacian. I'm like, how did you get both of those? You defeated Zacian. Your opponent switched into Eternatus. And it's like, dude, do you know anything other than a legendary? Stop beating me down with legendaries. Same thing with Let's Go. Let's Go, I would see somebody throw their green Mewtwo out. And I'd be like, okay, I get it. I've met those people. They say, I worked hard to get my shiny Mewtwo and then used bottle caps or berries or whatever you use, candies, to max out its IVs. So why wouldn't you use it? And I'm like, okay, I respect the effort, but I'm not looking for a legendary battle. I'm looking for, unless it's a viable legendary. But in the case of like Mewtwo, in Let's Go, Mewtwo should be on every team because the thing is straight up OP. Gen 1, it was OP. That's exactly how it worked. Gen 1, we didn't even have Mega Horn, too, so there was no way you could fight off a Mewtwo. But it's still extremely high stats compared to everything in the game. Zoroark. I have both Legends because I have both games. Yeah, that's how you do it. Zamazenta and Zacian, which, honestly, I kind of liked that your rival had Zamazenta. Rephrase, that your rival had the other legendary. That was kind of a cool little twist. But I'm wondering, like, I obviously haven't played Pokemon Black or Pokemon X. In X, I don't think if you had Evelta, you couldn't... No, that was Y. In Y, if you had Evelta, then you couldn't go and find Xerneas anywhere. But, like, back in Silver, when you finished... well, in Silver or Gold, you finished getting your legendary bird. Let's say Silver, you're getting Lugia. You could go to the other tower and catch Ho-Oh. I don't know if that still exists in games or not. But this one, obviously, you can't because Hop has it. Isle of Armor is $30. Yeah, isn't it weird? Like, so I found out because I was like, okay, well, we only have to get the DLC on one system. Naya has not even... Well, she started Pokemon Shield, and that's it. Like, she hasn't moved on to anything in it. So I was like, okay, Pokemon... Sword Nuzlocke, or not Nuzlocke, sorry. I was doing the Nuzlocke for Isle of Armor. I'm like, all right, well, let me buy this. And I have to buy the Sword version. So I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, is it separated by game? And it is, which means that if I want the DLC I purchased for my Nuzlocke, I get it for Sword. But then even though she has Shield on the same system, she would have to repurchase the DLC for it. Which is just a stinky trick that they use. It's like PlayStation, same thing. PlayStation, you can play online with an account if you purchase the subscription. However, that subscription only works for one user. It's not for the PlayStation, but yet the user, just the one user. So I was like, when the DLC was like that, I'm like, oh man, that kind of stinks for anybody that's... You got to buy it twice. The same DLC, you got to buy twice. It's $30 and I want it, but I haven't gotten around to getting it. I would say, I don't know. To me, I would say if you're not an extreme Pokemon enthusiast, I do not recommend the DLC. And that would be for someone who wants to play Pokemon, mess around with the post game, if you will, but not somebody who's going to complete the Pokedex, not somebody who's going to log in every day and sell items to the merchant and work on the game and shiny hunts and build teams. It's just something you pick up after you play it. It's something you pick up every now and then. So that person that's out there, I don't recommend spending $30 on the Isle of Armor. $15, I think, would have made a lot more sense to people. Of course, Pokemon can't do that because they've got the number calculated based on what they need the profits to be. Man, you've dodged 3 blizzards. In the case of the Isle of Armor, I don't know what their target was. I certainly know that they didn't have to make up for any lost profits from Sword and Shield because they broke records with Sword and Shield. And they weren't making up for Let's Go because Let's Go also yielded excellent profits and broke records. So I don't know why they ended up charging this for the DLC. Obviously, you got to factor in how much did you pay your employees in development, how much did you pay to produce from start to end, and they have to factor that in, but I'm not really sure why it ended up being $30. But man, it certainly seemed like they probably should have priced it as 15. Yeah, that would make people more comfortable. 15 or 20 at least. Wada, I hope you get a shiny. We're coming up on 250. 250 encounters in this stream alone, and overall I will be at 2,900 soon. That's why I don't get, like, I see so many people that they're posting videos all the time like, wow, look at this. Complete full odds shiny. I just ran into it by accident while I was hunting another shiny, and the other shiny only took 250 encounters. I'm like, why can't I have some good luck? I used to have amazing luck. To an extent, you could say that I still do, because when I found Morgrim, shiny Morgrim, was on the very first encounter of that hunt. And then Duraludon was it was just a random raid I did one morning for the heck of it. I'm like, oh, there's a Duraludon raid. Sure, I don't have a G-Max Duraludon. Let me go for it. And boom, shiny. So those ones are the extreme luck. Then there's stuff like this that balances it out because it goes over odds. And it's not bad, all things considered, because I used to hunt on 1 in 8,192 odds. So certainly 2,600 encounters in. Or in this case, almost 2,900 encounters in. Yeah, that's a good start. You're getting going. But nowadays, yeah, I definitely kind of expected to get a little lucky versus where I'm at now. And normally, Sabina, just to give you a frame of reference, I don't normally count my shinies anymore, my encounters. I kind of estimate based on time, or I keep a little bit of track. Basically, when I'm building up the chain, I know obviously where I'm at, and then after that, I just kind of got to estimate. But this one, I wanted to test a theory, and I was hoping I didn't have to, but the theory here was I had heard that your battle encounters cap off at 999 on the Pokedex. It won't go any higher. So I wanted to check. So I literally watched it go 998, 999, and then when I went for encounter number 1000, the dial never moved. So, but since I was already at 1,000, I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll count so I can be like, hey, this many encounters, I found the shiny. And I'm counting longer than I wanted to. I got sick of counting years ago. All the luck, my guys. All the luck, my friends. I need all of it. I'm not going to go for too much longer. But it would be really, really cool because I have never caught a shiny on stream in Pokemon Sword ever. I don't know what it is about this game, but I'm cursed to either catch the shiny right after I shut the stream down or the following morning, or just never find anything on stream ever. So I'm like, okay, well, Sandygast can be the first. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Every one of these has like a 1 in 1,300 chance or 1 in 1,100. Some people say it's 1 in 600. It's weird. If you look up the chart for what the odds are in this game, based on your encounters, everybody's got a different opinion on where that number falls. I don't know why. But either way, still, the idea here is that I'm doing pretty well on a number of encounters, but they're all at the same odds, so nothing's guaranteed. But still, I'm putting in a lot of encounters and getting nowhere fast. So I'm like, okay, universe, be nice to me. I have some good odds going here. I've got over 500 encounters by a lot. So we're working on the best odds I can get without a shiny charm. I should probably find it pretty quickly. Nope. And I guess that's the charm of using the shiny charm, is you get quick shinies. But then, I don't know, the hunt doesn't feel very rewarding. I'm very much thrill of the hunt. That's why I give away most of my shinies, is because I never even end up using them. Sandygast, however, you're a personal goal. I want to use you. $262. Campsite time skipping. I hate any of it. There's been, I mean, it started out as just manipulating the shiny to be a shiny den. I'm sorry, manipulating the den, the raid den, to be a shiny den. Now what we've gotten to is you can max out, not only can you max out the IVs, you can get it shiny and you can pick the Pokemon on top of that. It used to be just wait until something shines, then turn around and time skip so that it stays shiny. Now it's way more involved. There's bots involved where you trade the bots to see what the numbers are. It's just insane. But I'm not a fan of exploiting. Alright, we're going to break 3,000 encounters fairly shortly. I wasn't feeling like this was going to be a 3K encounter, honestly. No, in Animal Crossing, no, that was, Shelby, you meant, like, time skipping in Pokemon, right? I mean, any of it works. Every game, I don't know what it is about Nintendo games, but they're not time skip proof, if you will. I'm not sure if there's any game that's time skip proof. I can't think of any. Yeah, there's a spider on the wall. I think I'm going to take this little guy out. I'll be right back. Didn't get him. I missed. He crawled under the radiator vent, or it's not really a radiator vent, it's just a vent. But I don't want spiders in here because then they're going to lay eggs and then there's going to be a bunch of spiders, and that's not something I'm particularly up for battling. But if he pops back up, I'm definitely getting up again and attacking. Some raids are only hacks and exploits. Dude, they're like all raids are exploits and hacks. There's a point where I was getting like, I don't know what it is. I guess it's kind of cool, to be honest, that people would come into my stream and want to give me something. That was incredible. I'm humble about anybody that gives me a gift Pokemon. I have a box specifically for gifts. But the problem is the people that are literally giving me, like, shinies from 2001. I'm like, really? Really? You just happen to have 14 shiny Garbodor from Germany from 2001, right? I appreciate the gift. It's what the gift is that I don't really care for. I don't judge people for wanting to exploit. I only judge them if they go and stream for views that exploit. But I'm like, I'm not particularly going to be as fond of this thing as if you had actually found a legit shiny. Because if that's the case, then I'm going to trade my shiny for your shiny. But if it's just going to be an exploit, I'm like, I'm honored that you want to give it to me, but I'm probably not going to place much value into it. I said the same, but yeah, at this point, they're hacks. It's like, that's what's kind of cool. I guess that's the charm of being able to show proof that I caught something via video, which we've all got a button on that left Joy-Con / on the Pro Controller. We've all got a button. Hold it in. You got 30 seconds of footage. You can prove that you caught something legit. But that's what's bad about it, I guess, is now the video proof in itself is more valuable. The memory is more valuable than the actual Pokemon. Yeah, the Crown Tundra. So first off, I disagree why they didn't add Nidoking into the Isle of Armor. It really burst my bubble when they came out with this and Nidoran wasn't in it. Nidoran's coming in the next one. But I think they said that the raids are coming out in the Crown Tundra. Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, Zekrom, Reshiram. Like, I don't know. It was just like, man, we got to wait till November. That said, guys, I do want to do legendary raids. As much as I talk down about raids, I always enjoy when we do raids. And I am going to get a Steelix bred 6 IV in defense, or I'm sorry, 6 IV EV trained in defense and special defense, and probably a little leftovers in health. I don't know where. I'll probably split them. So I think they said they changed the IVs. Now you get 255 instead of 252. Either way, I'm gonna split it 3 ways for health, defense, and special defense, and I am going to be the tank. So when you come here to raid with me, legendaries, I'm going to have a tank ready for them. I just wish that Steelix could learn Follow Me. That would be extremely awesome. Unfortunately, it can't. Yeah, November. Yeah, you got to wait for legendaries, unfortunately. Can I give a Pokemon I have? Absolutely. Unfortunately, I'm running a little lean right now on my shinies. I love giving away my shinies because people use them versus me that they sit in a box. To me, it's like the living dex. You guys ever heard that? When somebody says a shiny living dex? I could never have a shining living dex because it's like having a car collection, but you never drive the cars. Same thing. I never use the shinies. But either way, I digress. I'm down to only a couple of shinies that I can give back. I cannot give this because Naya actually caught him. So this was Naya's catch. I told her I was working on dinner one day before we recorded something, and she said, "Can I help?" I'm like, "Well, you can encounter the Delmise. You can build the Delmise chain up if you would like." So she did. Of course, she finds the shiny in like 6 encounters. Actually, it was more like probably about 66 encounters. It was a good chunk, but of course she encountered it. And then this was the Duraludon that I got from a raid. That's my shiny inventory right now. That's it. I have nothing I can give because that's not mine to give because I told her I want to give it back to her now. And Duraludon, I'm going to hang on to this one. So as much as I would love to return the favor, my friend, I pretty much have nothing of value at the moment. And I wouldn't regift another shiny. Even if it was an exploit, I wouldn't regift it. I had somebody live probably 6 Pokemon streams ago, gave me a shiny Solgaleo, and I told him, I'm like, I'm 90% sure this is hacked, but I appreciate it because it was a gift. And I don't mean a gift to me. I mean, like, that was a giveaway gift Pokemon. So it's not so unheard of that a shiny Solgaleo comes across my path because everybody had those because they gave them out. His, however, had the wrong Pokeball. It was from a friend of his. He was not aware of it. But because it was in the wrong ball, I'm like, that's a hacked Pokemon. I can give it back to you, but I'm not giving it to anybody else. I'm either releasing it or giving it back to you. And he said, just go ahead and get rid of it. So I got rid of it. I don't want anything back. I just want to gift. Absolutely. I'd be humble and happy. I would definitely cherish it. It would go into the box with the rest of them. And they're going to come out, and I'm not sure when. I did gift Pokemon battles once already, but I'm not sure. I want to do something a little more special than that, you know? So I'm going to make use of it. Maybe during the Battle Tower I'll do that. Yeah, maybe that's what I'm going to do. Regice, Registeel, Regirock, and now we're getting a couple other Regis. In November, anyways. Can I give you something, too? You caught myself. Wait, to you caught myself. I don't want anything for return that's special. I accept it humbly. I also forgot to add the last 2 Sandygast to my meter. So, absolutely, guys. I welcome it and appreciate it, and I will make use of it. It won't just sit in the box. I'll do something with it. I'm thinking now, the more I talk about it, the more I'm thinking, like, it should be a Battle Tower team using you guys as Pokemon. I'll come up with a clever setup for moves and do the Battle Tower with that. Nonetheless, if you guys want to set up trade codes, I'll go online and jump in trade. Man, there's gonna be 300 Sandygast. I honestly didn't even think I was gonna encounter this many. I was feeling pretty good about it. I'm like, it's gotta happen eventually here pretty soon. I'm pretty far into this. 300 means that 40 more, and I will cross the 3K mark, which is, I don't know, it's not bad. It's just I didn't expect this hunt to go that long. I was feeling pretty good about my luck in the universe. But I guess not. I want to give my Seismitoad and my 5 IV Corviknight. I will find a use for it. I will make sure I find a use for it. Great Eevee on Pokemon Sword. Oh, great Eevees. Eevee was my first hunt on here, and I intend to go back to that hunt. I thought I was going to wrap up a few loose hunts first before I went back because Eevee's a 1% encounter rate, so I wanted that one for sure. That's an awesome hunt. A lot of people wouldn't stick through a 1% hunt, but unfortunately I haven't gotten back to it. I feel like my Pokemon hate me, by the way. They're constantly asking to be pet, and they're constantly saying messages that they're getting tired. I'm like, what do you want from me? I'm assuming I have to set up a camp so I can pet them so they'll have a little higher. In fact, you can check their friendship, right? I'm pretty sure you can check their friendship. Do all my Pokemon just hate me? Is it just because I concern myself only with battling and not with making you happy? Am I a jerk? Maybe that's in the judge. No, it can't be in the judge. It must be maybe the name rater. Maybe there's somebody in the game that tells you how your friendship with your Pokemon is doing, like back in the day. Sure, you go ahead and make the code, and I'll jump in. First things first. No, not my bike. Gotta log in. Or get on. I gotta connect. You have to talk to the kid. What kid is that? I'm not sure I want to talk to the kid because he's just going to tell me that my Pokemon all hate me, and I'll be like, oh, well, I already knew that. Well, they shouldn't hate me that much. I mean, Glaceon, I guess you weren't there for the Nuzlocke. And in fact, the best thing about you was that I caught you and you had a virus. So, but either way, my Pokemon shouldn't hate me that much because they never fainted during the Nuzlocke. Guess that was a slight Nuzlocke spoiler for anybody that wanted to go back and watch it but hadn't. Alright, got a code. I am kind of glad that they increased the code length. That way you could stop having accidental encounters with people. Alright, we've got 1478 5632. Oh, actually, yeah, I need to just sit here and wait. And Jose is your ID. Nice. Yeah, I definitely like to check and make sure I got the right person. Trading partner is Jose. All right. There's my brilliant, and here's my thank you box. Pretty much everything on the top row. No, I'm sorry, that's not true. That's not exploited. That's not exploited. That is, I found out. That. Did you go on TV? Are you okay? Yeah, you just want to stand by. Sorry. You guys can't see it. When I do that, what's going on is, here, you can have a Skorupi. What's going on? Man, that is a sick color palette. Yellow, orange, black, and cyan blue. Or seafoam green. No, that's a cyan blue for sure. But anyways, when I freak out like that, when I'm like, whoa, what is this? What is everything okay? What's going on is my TV went on standby. So I'm literally sitting here and all of a sudden black screen for a second. Probably about 5 seconds of just a black screen. And then the Samsung logo pops up and starts dancing across the screen. And I'm like, oh, was that me? And then I have to search for the remote and check the screen, make sure everything's okay, which it is, so I'm good to go. Thank you kindly, my friend, for Seismitoad. I will make good use of it. Your Seismitoad will not go to waste. I appreciate it. Oh, I can't move it yet. Did you have a second one? Oh, it's a Spanish Seismitoad, too. Let's see if the other person... Yep, the Corviknight. I appreciate that you want to give me the Seismitoad and the Corviknight, so I will make sure they go to good use. I still say, there's people that keep calling me crazy. I am sticking by it 100%. My theory that there's a leftover Corviknight prototype model in the game, and they didn't mean to leave it there, but they did. When you go to heal your Pokemon at a Poke Center, Corviknight's body looks more like Corvisquire, where its belly is blue and under its beak is blue, and it looks like it's wearing armor. And people keep telling me, oh, no, that's just the lighting of the Poke Center. I'm like, no, it's not. It's definitely, I'm convinced just by how it looks, it's a leftover model they forgot to change. And that Corviknight was meant to look more like Corvisquire wearing armor, and they messed up. Oops. Yeah, move. All right, Seismitoad, you'll go right there. Oops. And then Corviknight, you'll go right here. It's not exploited, I'm just Spanish. Oh, absolutely, I believe you. If you tell me that it's not exploited, I believe 100% that it is not exploited. 294 encounters. Raihan's gym is where that kid's located. Okay. Then I will go there at some point and find out all my Pokemon hate me. Because I don't play with them. Oh, wow, a Dragalge raid. That's awesome. Is Dragalge... I didn't even realize they added Dragalge in. I love Dragalge. 1212 5151, or is it? No, it's 151. Oops, 5. I would love a Dragalge. If that's a legit raid going on right now, I'm all over it. There's no reason somebody would hack in Dragalge, so I'm pretty sure that's legit. That's not a popular Pokemon, but I think that thing is awesome. One of the original Poison Dragon types. I'm 90% sure it's not Water type, it's Poison Dragon. But I guess I would have to check. Alright, Shelby, perfect. If I breed more great Eevees, I'll give you one. I'll give one to you on Pokemon Sword. A great Eevee? Possibly. Like I say, I would definitely find a use for it. I'd accept all gifts humbly that you would want to give me that. In fact, here, you can have... what Eevees are these? Oh, yeah, these are just the caught ones. So here, you can have a caught Eevee from the original Eevee Shiny Hunt. Oh, dude, a Seedot. It's a shiny Seedot. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Shelby, that's amazing. I will make sure I put this thing to good use. I'll train it up. Is it low level? I can actually Eevee train this. Bye, Eevee. You can Eevee train that. But I'm tipped. Didn't know Dragalge existed until 2019. Ah, that thing is so cool, Dragalge. That is an awesome Pokemon. Dragalge and Skrelp. I love those Pokemon. I did not know they added it into here, so now I want one for sure. I did not have a Seedot. How is that possible? I have a Shiftry. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. I will go stick that in a box right now, so I don't lose track of him. You are level 18. You're probably naturally caught, which means I can train you up perfect. That'd be great. I'll give you Pokerus even, so I can really get that going. Theo, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. I'm almost at 300 encounters in this stream alone. This is 295 right here. And no luck. Yeah, we left that one out in the sun. He got tanned. He's actually not shiny. He just got a sunburn. Yeah, I'm going to have to track down a Dragalge now. That's incredible. I can't believe I didn't notice that. You'd think that would have been one of the first things I saw. Because I looked through the list of the Pokemon they added back in, and Dragalge, that would have been amazing for me to note. Like I say, most people don't like Dragalge. I freaking love that Pokemon. I'm a poison type fanatic. Marini, I want a shiny Marini. That's another hunt that's going on. That one's around like 800 encounters, but I'll get back to that eventually. So Dragalge is amazing. I loved Poipole. All these new poison types are just amazing. Since I booted the game up, I'll work in finishing my Pokedex. Nice. Hello, hello. Yes, hello, hello. I'm going to finish the stream up here. Shoot, I should probably only go about 18 minutes. 6 o'clock, I got to bail. All right, so 18 minutes, whatever. This is 298. I'll try to hit 350 so we go past the 3K mark. Let's see if I can get a shiny Sandygast by 3K. I would need 340 encounters. That should be doable. 40 encounters in 18 minutes. Maybe that's not as doable as I thought, but it certainly is something. Actually, my bad. It would have to be 360 encounters. So that's not going to happen. But, all right, well, I can get close to 3K. If it happens, but here's 300. This is right here. Encounter number 300. Nope. If it happens before 3K, I would not complain. Whoops, I left. How you doing, Hoy? Hopefully you... well, I feel like if you'd gotten past that level, you would have screamed in chat. Don't worry, I'm having as much success as you are. Here's encounter number 301. I'm going to turn off the online because it's slowing down my encounters. Poison is good. I love Poison. They have the coolest Pokemon, I swear. Poison, if it's going to be anything else, it'd be Ice and possibly Psychic. I'd have to go through, but Poison for sure. I love it. Poison Pokemon are just amazing. All right, disconnect. You're slowing me down. Still crying inside? Well, that's just unfortunate. What are you doing here? Wait, what? Why are there still trainers here? Here's 302. That's the size of my motor. 302. All right. I don't know why there's still trainers here, but did I disconnect or did I reconnect? I'm disconnected, right? Good. And I don't know. They were here by a fluke. They just didn't get out in time. 303. Nope. Gonna make this happen. Sabina and Jose, Theo, Shelby, Hoy. They're gonna be witness to greatness of a black sand Sandygast. And for all the lurkers out there, hopefully it was entertaining. I usually the highlights is more entertaining than the stream itself, but you know, hopefully you enjoyed the conversations. I always enjoy talking to you guys. Honestly, it makes shiny hunting a lot funner. Usually I multitask during hunts anyways. I don't just sit here and hyper-focus. I take it slow so I don't make a mistake, but I can't say I've ever focused solely on my hunts. That's why I don't multi-hunt. 306. And Sabina, you subscribed, and I absolutely appreciate that. And you guys are just awesome to talk to and chat with. It's just really, really cool. 4 likes on the stream. I appreciate that. It's optional. You don't have to like the stream. You don't have to dislike the stream and leave me feedback, but you choose to. And I appreciate that to the ends. It's just awesome. It's just like yesterday with Smash. Smash obviously was a lot more high energy stream. But if it wasn't for you guys, or if it weren't for you guys, then these would probably not be as fun. I mean, Smash, for instance, I'd still have fun, but I feel like I wouldn't play Smash as often because I wouldn't have anybody to play with if it was an empty chat or I didn't stream it. So, same thing with this. If I'm just sitting here, I'm just encountering one after another, after another, after another. Chatting with you guys makes it really, really fun. And now I know that Dragalge's in the game. I'm like, oh man, I gotta stop and go get a Dragalge. 310. Alright, so there's 14 minutes left. If I hustle, I can get close to 3,000 encounters. Sandygast, I really hope you don't let me get to 3K. 3K, I don't typically get to 3K that often anymore. The Glimwood Tangle hunt is a random encounter hunt with all 500 chains. So all of those Pokemon in the Glimwood Tangle have max odds without a shiny charm. But at the end of the day, it's still a random encounter stream, or hunt, a random encounter hunt. That one's over 4,000 by my estimate. So that's now 2 hunts that I have that are in the multi-thousands where I'm like, okay, it sure would be really cool to have a little extra luck. Maybe. I'm honestly these kinds of, I'm happy these kind of streams exist. And Jose, it's just awesome to have you to chat with. It's really cool. And I appreciate the gift, guys. Jose and Shelby, I really appreciate it. I will definitely, I've changed my mind about how I'm going to do Battle Tower. I'm going to try to use your Pokemon rather than breeding up my own. Name it King or Queen, please. What's that, the Palisand? Or I should say the Sandygast. $3.15. I mean, to me, it's like when I watch people, I swear my luck is luck. It's not something that should fluctuate, but it sure feels like it does. But here we go, Austin 316. Here we go. Nope. All right, name it King or Queen depending on its gender. Does Sandygast have a gender? Yes, you do. Okay. So, all right, King or Queen, I can do that. King of the Castle, Queen of the Castle, 317. Nope. Sandygast. I love Sandygast design. I dance around it, but no, I don't dance around it. I've proclaimed this before. Pretty sure Gen 7 is my favorite generation. And that's solely based on the story. Or I shouldn't say, sorry, Gen 7, I should say Moon is my favorite game. And that's based on the story. When it comes to design of Pokemon, I couldn't really pick a generation, but I gotta say, Gen 7 had some killer designs. Sandygast and Palisand, that's definitely one of them. These are just really cool Pokemon. And they have such an awesome shiny sprite. So, or a shiny form, I should say. Sandygast is a real winner. Like, if anybody were to be like, oh yeah, they're out of ideas. Pokemon is dead, man. They're out of ideas. Their designs are horrible. I'd be like, boom, Palisand. Tell me this thing's not cool. It's a possessed sandcastle. Like, tell me that's not a cool Pokemon. Bring on the shiny luck. Bring on the shiny luck. Come on, let's go. Let's go. 321. I've got 10 minutes. I'm gonna call it in 10 minutes, and if I can pull out. I can probably do about 30 more encounters if I just do back to back to back to back to back. So let's try to get to 3,000. If I can, you know what? I'm just gonna go to 3K. I don't care how much time it takes. It's not gonna be that much. I'm either gonna be off by a bit or I'm not. But it's only gonna take me. Where was I at? I was at 40. Yeah, I was at 2640 when I started here. So it's literally only going to take me 37 now, 37 more encounters to get to 3,000. So let's see if I can nail it before the 3,000 mark. I've seen people that are just getting crazy luck. I want in on that. I want in on it, Sandygast. Work with me. I just want a little bit, just a couple of little grains of sand. Give me a couple grains of sand that are enchanted with a little luck. You know what's a good design? Electrode. I have no problem with Electrode. I like Electrode. Simple is not bad. I'm 100% behind that idea. Let me try not to slur my words with my dry mouth here. I'm 100% behind the idea that simple is not bad. That includes things that are simple in design and things that are just simple in concept. Like, oh, it's a Pokeball and it got possessed. Okay, boom. It's Pokemon. It's like, all right, let me give you an example. Alolan Muck, right? Hate that thing. It's rainbow colored. It's nasty. It's just stupid to me, the design. However, it's not simple. That thing, to me, this is my hypothesis on it. I haven't heard anybody else say this before, but I'm pretty sure this is what it is it represents, like, you know, the normal muck represents scummy trash pollution, right? That's why it's purple, because that's the color of poison, and it's just toxic sludge ball. Well, the rainbow one, the reason that thing looks like that is because the Alolan Ocean, or the sea, it was a wake-up. The existence of that Pokemon, of having an Alolan form of muck, is a wake-up call to those people, because there were so many oil spills in the Pokemon universe ocean. There's so much oil that made its way into the ocean that Alolan muck, a rainbow-colored muck, rainbow being the color of oil in water, somehow managed to exist. That was a wake-up call for those people on the Alolan Islands. That was, you need to clean your oceans up, because look, this thing shouldn't exist, but it does. So I still dislike the design, but I'm pretty sure it has a deeper meaning than just, oh, it's rainbow colored. It's not like Dugtrio, where it's a simple design and it's stupid. I'm breeding right now. What you breeding? Oh, it's Eevee. Yeah, you're breeding Eevee, right? Yeah, there you go. I got a great Eevee. Very nicely done. 3-3-2. Come on. I'm not behind hating Simple, but I hate Electrode. And Electrode, it's not a Pokemon I particularly like, but I don't dislike it. And it could just be a sentimental thing. Like, I loved in the anime that dude that was in the Pokemon race, and he was running on an Electrode, so he was balancing on this Electrode. Or just Electrode using Explosion is always an easy laugh. So, or that the fact that it has a move, that its signature move is exploding. That in itself, it makes it fun. So, is it a favorite? No. But do I dislike the design? No. But there are some Pokemon that like Klefki. Klefki's another one. Klefki's not simple. Klefki has a fairy tale background to it. There's a reason Klefki exists in the way that it does. That doesn't mean I have to like it. I still hate it. Same with Comfey. I don't know the story behind Comfey's design. I don't know if I should look it up. I don't know if there's almost nothing that you could tell me about that thing's design that would save it for me. I hate that Pokemon. Or at least I don't like its design. Alolan Diglett and especially Alolan Dugtrio. Those take it from my most hated Pokemon. I liked Dugtrio. Like, Arena Trap Dugtrio was straight up broken. That was a broken Pokemon. That was a beast to have. Alolan form ruined it for me. I freaking hate it. I want to try and separate them as far apart as I can to remember that Dugtrio is really cool and has Arena Trap. And Alolan Dugtrio looks awful to me. Just when you said Comfey, I got a random encounter of it. Boom, I put that into the universe. Someone just lost their keys. No, it's that the lore behind Klefki is that Klefki is based on a fairy. Like, fairies were known for stealing shiny stuff from people. Fairies were very small and took on multiple different forms in some Renaissance age mythology fairy tale. I don't know which one it's from. All I know is that's where Klefki comes from, is the idea that fairies like to take little shiny stuff and steal it from you, and that's what Klefki is. Klefki steals. It's a key ring. It's a little fairy-type Pokemon that has stolen keys, and it's very mischievous. So it can't keep its little... It's a kleptomaniac, actually. It can't keep its hands off or anything. But it doesn't mean I have to like it. At the end of the day, it still looks like a key ring with a bunch of keys hanging off of it, and I hate it. So it's not a simple Pokemon, but I still dislike it. So a lot of people don't like Dragalge, in fact, for that very reason. Dragalge is not a simple Pokemon. It's an algae dragon. But people dislike it for whatever reason. My key. Yep. If you lost your keys, that's the chances are that it was taken from you by a fairy Pokemon that has a kleptomania problem. 343, still nothing. How do you catch those Emolga up in the trees? Well, I don't know. You're right. I did see the Emolga up there. I don't headbutt the tree. That's what I would guess. Back in the day, you used to be able to use headbutt on trees, and then items would fall out. So that's my guess. That's probably not right, but that's my guess. When I first saw Pokemon, I thought someone lost their keys. Oh, yeah. What am I at? I'm at 344. 345. We're coming up on 3,000 counters. I guess I could have put a counter on screen. I'm not a fan of using overlays necessarily on my screen because, one, I don't have a camera, so I don't really need an overlay. And number two, it's like I don't ever count my shiny encounters anyways, and I like maximizing the screen size for gameplay. I mean, that's a functionality thing to me. It's a stream. You're looking for the gameplay and make that as big as possible. That's how I run. But I could have at least put the counter on for you guys instead of just saying it. But it's 347. I could just say it. I'd be like, hey, it's 347. So 13 more encounters. 3 minutes left in the stream, guys. Thank you guys all so much for keeping me company while I did this hunt. And like I say, for those of you that the 4th of July is Independence Day, I hope you find something to celebrate and enjoy your day. For those of you that it's just the 4th of another month, I hope your weekend goes well. And I hope that you're not suffering anything with the rapid outbreak and the resurgence here of a virus pandemic, because that's not good for anybody. So I hope you stay safe. I hope you have a good weekend. And like I say, find something to celebrate. Try to look at the positive. You can stare at negatives all day. You can go on Twitter and just be blown away with negatives, but the positives are a lot better way to live. Speaking of positive, Sandygast, I kind of actually want you as a negative, because if you think about it, your shiny form kind of looks like the negative photo of a picture of you. So I would like you to be negative, if you will. I'll post my Pokedex in progress. Oh, I was going to say, does anybody want the Discord link? Here, I'll put that on there. Just in case. You never know. I humbly invite you guys, if you use the app Discord, I humbly invite you to my server. I'm happy with how the servers turned out. My premise behind the server was no generational gaps and no bullying or harassment of any kind. I wanted it to be a relaxed server that you can go into, just chat it up, talk to me directly, anything like that. Just a nice little place among all your other places. Something fairly wholesome, relaxing, something you don't have to try and impress people or compete or constantly defend points, things like that. Something that all generations can get behind. Somebody that played Pokemon Red and Blue can talk to somebody that played Sun and Moon. You can go in there and talk about Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask with people who played Breath of the Wild and maybe never experienced the older Zelda games. Things like that. Alright, this is 354. I'm going to take a look at your picture really quick, Jose. Yeah, you're coming right along with that Pokedex. Nice. Very nice work. 355, guys. 5 encounters, and I will have 3,000 encounters on this thing. Here it goes. This is the hype right here. The anxiety, or I should say, it's not being anxiety. It's getting anxious, because if it happens in the next 5 encounters, I will blow my mind. 4 encounters left, guys, and then I'm calling it a stream. And you guys have a wonderful weekend. If I go live again with Mario Sunshine with Naya, it would probably be tomorrow, not tonight. But I will talk to her. Here we go. 357. I'm at 2,997 encounters right now. Sandygast, are you going to work with me? Are you going to make a moment out of this? Are you going to make an extremely awesome moment out of this, or are you just going to let this flop? Are you going to seize the moment? Are you going to grasp it and blow this out of the water, or are you just going to let it slip? Yo. I hope I get king or queen soon. Well, we've got 2 encounters, guys. I'm going 2 more. Here's number 1 right here. 2 more. We are at 2,998 encounters Me and Glacian here, we're working hard. You ready, Glacian? Here it goes. 2999 right there is nothing. So here comes number 3,000. This is encounter 3,000. Have a good 4th. Buys, everyone, and have a good day or night. Yes, farewell to you all. Final encounter coming up here. Thank you so much, guys. What a stream it was, even if nothing really truly got accomplished. And thank you guys, Jose and Shelby. I will put your Pokemon to good use. Here we go. Last encounter. Will this be it? Nope. Nope. So that was 3,000 encounters, guys. Alas, unfortunately, with nothing here. Haven't gotten it yet, but I will keep on it. I will keep trying. So, with that, my friends, humble and proud, I am Nito Marquis. You guys take care. I wish you all well, and I'll catch you around. Thank you so much, and welcome, Sabina, your new subscriber, and I really appreciate that. It was cool to meet you, and I hope to continue to see you. You're all welcome back here anytime you want to be here. That spider just ran up my computer screen. That is hilarious. Actually, before I call it a stream, I need to take care of him. I can't believe the audacity of this thing literally just ran over my screen. Where did you go? Plot twist. Stream's not ending. I gotta kill the spider live. Get back here. Where the hell did you go? You vanished. I don't know where that thing went. He ran up my screen so fast. I was like, really? Okay. Fine. Here's 3001 just for you, little spider. This is just for you. You're getting an encore encounter just for you for climbing over my screen before I murder you. Nope. All right, guys. This time I'm calling it. I'll catch you guys later. You enjoy the weekend. Take care. Theo, my friend, thank you so much for subscribing. I'm honored, truly. Thank you so much. Caught it right there at the end of the stream. I will go one more encounter just for that, actually. I'll find any reason to throw another encounter in here. Here's 3002, or 3002, just for the subscriber. Boom, let's go. Come on. No, man, I really wanted a moment out of that. I'm grasping at straws to get this thing. 3002 encounters, nothing. Thank you, Theo, so much. I am honored. All right, guys. You take care. I appreciate it to the ends of the earth, man. That was awesome. That was really cool. It's optional. It's not something you have to do, but you chose to. I'm honored. You guys take care and farewell.